58 on page 361. When the shot whose path is shown by the red graph, so this is from a different problem, it's not important. The trajectory of a ball is this, plus 6.1. X is the shot's horizontal distance in feet from its point of release. Part A. Before that, I'm going to ask you what type of function is it? Quickly.
Quadratic.
Thank you. I didn't mean that. Part B. What is the maximum height of the shot? My next question is, does this function have a max or a min?
Has a maximum.
Yes, because the leading coefficient is negative 0.04. The function has a maximum. So it does something like this. It reaches a maximum and eventually will hit the ground. Whatever it is, projectile or whatever. Good. How do I determine the maximum?
I guess you have to plug, well, it's impractical, but the only thing I can think of is plugging in numbers into it.
Say it again. Thank you. Find the vertex. This is the only point that will give us the maximum. Awesome. How do I find the vertex? In order to find the max of a quadratic function. Very good. How do I find it? Remember that little trick that we wrote to refresh? Negative b over 2a. Awesome, thank you. Negative, what is b?
2.1.
Over 2 times a. Negative 0.08, correct. So when you put this in the calculator, I shouldn't. I will multiply top and bottom by 100, so I have 2100 divided by 8, or just put it in 2.1 divided by 0.08. I got 26.25 feet, of course. But this is not the maximum height. This is, so I'm throwing something up in the air. So this is the distance between where I'm throwing it up in the air and where the maximum is. But that's not the maximum height. How do I find the maximum height?
Set that equal to,
No. We just did it a few minutes ago. How do I find the y-coordinate of the vertex? Ryan, no, I'm sorry, not Ryan. Eddie told us what to do. You remember what he said?
plug that in correct.
Thank you.
That's what I was trying to say.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I just said it wrong.
I'm sorry, forgive me.
That's all right.
Negative 0.04 times 26.25 squared plus 2.1 times 26.25 and plus 6.1. Forgive me, I misunderstood.
That's fine. That's fine. I should have said it right.
I'm apologizing with witnesses. That must count. Okay, so I plug it in. Negative 0.04 multiplied by 26.25 squared plus 2.1 multiplied by 26.25 and plus 6.1. 33.6625 feet. So what does this represent? So I can write it now. Equals
Maximum.
C, maximum height. What is the shot's maximum horizontal distance to the nearest 10th, or the distance to the throw? In other words, how far, what is the shot's maximum horizontal distance? In other words, this. From this point, yes, indeed, awesome. So we are asked to find the maximum horizontal distance
So then just use 0
for,
for the equation.
Correct. Very good. So g of x equals 0. So I have negative 0.04 x squared plus 2.1 x plus 6.1 equals 0.
6.1 then.
What was the question?
The question was asking us to find what is the shot's maximum horizontal distance. So I throw up in the air and it hits the ground somewhere. So what is the maximum horizontal distance? So how do I handle this? Say it again. No, how do I solve this equation?
Again, set x equal to 0. I don't know. Oh, it's only.
Say it again.
Quadratic formula.
Yes, but not before I clean it up. At least multiplying both sides by -1. Honestly, I would have loved to divide both sides by negative 0.04 and make it as easy as possible, but at least multiply by -1. So 0.04x squared minus 2.1x minus 6.1 equals 0. And then x equals, have to write the quadratic formula. Negative b plus or minus the square root of 2.1 squared minus 4ac, but there are two negatives in there, so plus 4 times 0.04 times 6.1 over 2 times a. And I think I showed this with a graphing calculator. Let's do this again. Put parentheses around the top. I didn't mean this, I meant this. Parentheses around the top, and I have 2.1 plus the square root. You know me, I have to have parentheses. Some software and some new calculators don't need it, but I can't do it without it. Plus 4 times 0.04 is 0.16. I wanted to multiply that times 6.1. Close the parenthesis. Go outside, close the parenthesis, and divide by 0.08. And enter. And I get 55.26. So x equals 55.26 feet. I have to check the other one. So I go with second and entry and overwrite. It takes like forever with this software. And override that plus into a minus, or change it into a minus to get the second solution. Yes, of course, I know. Minus. So the other option is negative 2.76 feet. Which one is completely unacceptable?
The negative one.
Right. So the maximum horizontal distance is 55.26 feet. 55.26 feet. From what height, that's the last question, D. From what height was the shot released? I'm standing here. This is my height. Yes. How do I determine the y-intercept?
I'm guessing now you plug in that for x.
What am I plugging?
0.
Yes. So I have to find g of 0. What is the shot initial height?
6.
Right. Says 6.1 feet. That's not me. So, but imagine somebody 6.1 feet or height of 6.1 somewhere. This is it. I didn't forget, we want to look at the others, the other type of quadratic function. Everything is the same. So that's